All right. I was checking to make sure that we are on and we are live. So, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining me for Spring Clean Your Routine. We are going to be talking about all things spring and spring cleaning, right? Whoops, let me turn that down. All right. So, again, welcome to Spring Clean Your Routine. All right. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, making sure everything was going and all of the different devices were all muted. So, again, welcome to Spring Clean Your Routine, where we're going to be talking about all things spring and refresh for your skincare and your glam and your tools, all of those things. So, I'm Beth Eilers. I've been a Mary Kay consultant for 37 years and totally love it. And so, I'm excited to share with you about how you can spring clean your routine. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for spring. And I believe it is this coming Friday, the 20th, that is the official first day of spring. So it's appropriate that we talk about spring cleaning our routine, right? Everybody seems to be in the mood when spring comes to refresh things, correct? To refresh and renew. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that you can see all of the products and the things that I will be sharing with you as well. So let me get that going for you. And we'll wait for that to come up. So again, spring cleaning your routine, right? That's what we're going to talk about tonight or this morning. It's not tonight. A lot of times I do lives in the evening, so I say tonight, but it is the morning. So we're going to be talking about that this morning. Spring clean your routine. Excuse me. Today, we're hitting the refresh button on all things skincare, glam, and tools. That's what we're going to be talking about because spring, that's what we want to do, right? Why clean your routine in the spring? Well, really, because spring is all about refresh, right? Isn't that why we love spring so much? It's new things, refresh things after kind of the dull and the drab of winter. We're ready for some fresh new things. And so spring is the perfect time to clean your routine because with weather changes, your skin could change. So from the winter and more dry, maybe to not as dry, maybe to a little more oily, or lots of other things. So with the weather changes, you can have skin changes. Also, those heavier winter products may not really serve you now, might not be the best thing for you. And fresh routines equal better results, right? I don't know about you, but when I'm excited about my routine, when it feels fresh and new, I'm much more excited about it and much more likely than to actually do my routine. When the routine gets dull and I'm kind of like, man, it's the same old thing. It's not really that exciting. It's really easy maybe not to do it as much. And so fresh routines equal better results. So let's start with the basics, which is skincare. So let's go back to that. When to replace your skincare. This is something that I get asked a lot by women that I work with. And I think it's important for us to know this because we want to make sure that our products are working properly, that they're not contaminated, and that we are getting all of the benefits from them, right? And so the general guideline, these are general guidelines for skincare products. So cleansers, 6 to 12 months. If your cleanser's a year old, it's time to get a new one. And anywhere between that 6 to 12 months. Now, if you're using your cleanser regularly, every day, twice a day, or even just once a day, you are going to need a new cleanser by 6 months, probably, for sure. So if you've got anything lying around, any other cleansers that you've used in the past, if it's more than a year old, toss it. It's not going to be effective, and it's not going to be good for your skin. The same with serums and moisturizers. 6 to 12 months is good for those. Those people tend to, I think, have longer because we don't quite use as much moisturizer, serum as we do cleanser. I find that over all of my years in this business, I find that for some reason, we're really good about using our cleanser, and we tend to use probably more than we really need to. We tend to use a lot of it because I don't know why. I don't know if we think the more we use, the cleaner our skin will get. But I find that people will go through their cleanser quicker than their moisturizer or their serum. And some serums you don't use every day. And so that might be why you have them a little bit longer. But again, really 6 to 12 months is when you should replace them and have a new one. And then your SPF, you want to make sure that any products you have with SPF, that you check the expiration, because most products I find when that SPF expires, they don't really feel different. And a lot of times they don't necessarily smell any different, but that SPF is not working as effectively. And we don't want that SPF to not work effectively and to have sun damage on our skin, whether we can really see that sun damage or not. Initially, it does show up eventually on our skin. And so if it smells different, or if it separates, or the color's changing, you definitely want to toss those skincare products. And so what are some great skincare products? Well, we're going to talk about the Mary Kay skincare products, and we're going to start with our spring starter skincare. These are for fresh-faced beginners that are just starting to bloom. So your tweens, your teens, maybe your early 20s. And this comes in 2 formulas, a mattifying and a hydrating. Mattifying for the more normal to dry, and mattifying for the more combo to oily, and hydrating for the more normal to dry. And it's a really basic skincare. There are only 4 things, and there's a cleanser, and then a scrub that you just use a couple of times a week, and then the toner and the moisturizer. Simple, clean, effective, great for those fresh-faced beginners. If you are in bloom already, if you have hit that blooming stage of your adulthood in your 20s, then you want to protect your glow and keep your bloom fresh. And that's what our Time-Wise Miracle Set is for. It is going to reset the pace of your skin's visible aging in as little as 2 weeks. And what most people don't realize is that our skin aging really starts in our 20s, like in our early 20s. Typically, we don't necessarily see the results of that until our late 20s, early 30s. But by then, that damage has already been done. And if we wait until we see it, it's going to be a little bit late to do anything to prevent it or to combat it. And so we want to reset the pace of your skin's visible aging. Really in our early 20s is when we want to start doing that, because we want to slow down that pace, right? Slow down that pace. And so our Miracle Set is great for these people in this stage of life. It comes in 2 formulas, the normal to dry or combo to oily. And it also has our patented Time-Wise 3D complex that delivers those 3 critical dimensions of skin support. If you think about it as ABCs, antioxidants to combat the environmental stressors and the pollutants in the air, brightening combats that dull complexion, and collagen. Collagen is an important element of our skin. That's what gives it its firmness, and that's what keeps it in place and where it's supposed to be. And most people don't realize that we start to lose 1% of our collagen each year in our when we turn 20. And so that gets to be significant, by 30%, it's 10, or by 30, it's 10, by 40, it's 20%, so we want to help support that collagen so it doesn't diminish at that rate. We want to, again, reset the pace, slow that pace down of those things that happen naturally. And then for those that are blooming into maturity, for women in full bloom who want that next level firming and luxury results, our Time-Wise Repair Volume Firm. This is what I personally use. I've had a few birthdays, but this is a scientifically advanced regimen to lift away the years and target advanced signs of aging, including deep wrinkles and sagging skin. And that sagging skin is because of that loss of collagen. So it is it is perfectly normal to have, something to use in your teens, and then maybe when you're 20, 21, but those early 20s, you want to switch to something else for your skin. And then as you mature, you want to hit another something for your skin, because your skin's needs change as you have more birthdays. We love more birthdays. They're wonderful, right? But some of the things that go along with them are not always the most pleasant. And we want to do things to help our skin combat those. So this contains a foaming cleanser, the most luxurious cleanser I have ever used. It is amazing. An advanced lifting serum, which does what it says. A day cream with that SPF to protect against the sun. That is one of the best things you can do for your skin, is to have an SPF all the time and to protect it from that sun damage, because it really does a lot of damage, not just, medically with possible cancer, but all of the things that it does to your skin. And then there's a night treatment with retinol. Retinol is the gold standard ingredient that dermatologists recommend for adults of all ages, that will not just prevent, but also reverse the visible signs of aging. So that's an important product. And then an eye renewal cream. Oh my gosh, the best eye cream ever, that not only helps the fine lines and wrinkles, but it also helps that droopy eyelid, which is something that once you have more birthdays, you might notice. So those are the skincare for women. And then we do have a MK Men regimen, and this is clean cut and clean skin for a simple no fuss routine that keeps him fresh and ready. It helps reduce oil, deeply cleanse pores, and protect against razor irritation, all while keeping his skin hydrated for up to 12 hours. It's just simple, effective skincare made just for him. There's a daily face wash, a moisturizing shave cream, which, by the way, I use that myself to shave my legs. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. And then an ultimate moisturizer. So that is for the man in your life. And studies show, and statistics and sales prove that, excuse me, more and more men are being concerned about their skincare and using skincare products. So we want to make sure we get them good products. So that's the basics. That's, excuse me, where you want to start. Now, maybe you have one of those skincare routines, or maybe you have a skincare routine that's working for you in this stage of life, and you've refreshed it for spring. So now let's talk about solving some problems. It's not uncommon for there to be specific concerns that people have about their skin, and they can change through the years at different times, and lots of different factors play into it. But these are some of the most common problems. So first, your skin feels dull, dry, or uneven. I hear that one a lot. And the main reason for that is dead skin buildup. Your skin forms in the bottom layers of its skin, works its way to the surface, and then it sloughs off. Well, that process works really well when we're young. But when we have a few more birthdays, that process does not work so well, and that dead skin can build up on the surface of our skin. And that's what we see that makes it dull and dry and uneven. Excuse me. And so the solution is a gentle exfoliation 2 to 3 times per week. And Microdermabrasion Plus is an amazing product that will do just that. It gently polishes away dullness, it refines texture, and it minimizes pore appearance for a smoother, youthful looking skin. When people try this at our sessions, they immediately see a result. I think 99% of the time, very, very few people ever say, oh, I don't tell any difference. Immediately people are like, oh my gosh, my skin looks brighter. It's so smoother. They can tell an immediate difference. And so that's exfoliation. That's the difference that exfoliating makes. So that's one problem. Another one is your skin feels dry. Excuse me, especially coming off of winter, right? Winter tends to be drier because we have the forced air, we have the dry coldness, all of that. And so it's not uncommon for skin to still feel dry in the spring, because we are trying to get to that more humid air, the more fresh air, and it takes a while to do that. And so you want to layer hydration based on your skin type and texture preference. And there's several different things that you can do for this. The HA Ceramide Hydrator plumps and strengthens the moisture barrier, which is really important. That's a product that I use every day and night, every morning and every evening. It's a really great lightweight hydrator. And then there's extra emollient night cream. If you're really, really, really dry, that is a product that has been around and a staple in our company for many years. That is a bestseller. People love it. But if your skin tends to be a little bit more oily, even combination, it's probably a little bit too much for you. Then we have our nourishing oil, which gives you a moisture glow boost for your face and body. Again, this is something if you tend to be probably a little more combo to oily, you might not want to use. I do use the nourishing oil and I mix it with my body lotion all the time, with my hand cream all the time. And every now and then in the winter, I'll put a drop or two in with my foundation, but typically I don't use that on my face because I do tend to have a little bit more combination skin. Our hydrating cream mask is a newer product for us. It gives a 12-hour hydration and no rinsing required. You can put this on, leave it on at night, put it on under makeup in the morning. You can put it on throughout the day if you don't have any makeup on. You can put it on your hands and your elbows and your feet, other areas of your body as well. It feels amazing. And then we have an intense moisturizing cream and an oil-free hydrating gel. The intense moisturizing cream is better for that normal to dry skin, and that oil-free hydrating gel is better for combo to oily skin. That intense moisturizing cream gives you such rich daily moisture for dry skin, and the oil-free hydrating gel gives you that lightweight hydration for the more combo to oily skin. So go ahead and, comment throughout this. I keep forgetting to say that, but just comment throughout, like if you're drier and the different things that you are experiencing or seeing that you're like, oh yeah, that addresses something that I have. So now we talk about SPF. And we do tend to think of this more as spring comes because we see the sun more typically, depending on where you live. It might not be that much of a difference, but I know where I live, it's more of a difference. We see more sun, it's more intense, it's warmer. But really, SPF isn't seasonal, it's daily. Because even in the winter, if you live in an area that's cold and tends to be a little bit more cloudy during the winter, even through the clouds, we get the SPF. And even when we're inside, it can come through windows in our home or our office. It can come through the windshield of our car when we're driving around. So it's not seasonal. It really is daily. And UV, that's what I said, UV rays age skin all year long. And then most premature skin aging comes from sun exposure. It is one of the worst things for our sun that causes that for our skin that causes that premature aging. And so SPF, you find the one that works for you. And we've got several different ones. The day cream in the repair set that I use has the SPF in it. So I love it. I don't have to put on a different one. Some people find that's a little much for them. Our daytime defender in the Time Wise, it also has SPF. It's a little bit lighter. And then we do have a mineral facial sunscreen and a mineral facial sunscreen that you can use on your face that is very lightweight and is made specifically for the face. So you want to make sure that you've got that SPF all year round. All right. So that's skincare. Let's talk about your glam. Sorry about that. Had to take a drink. So why makeup needs a spring reset? Expired makeup, the same, with skincare, but it's even more because we typically are in it more and we touch it with our fingers or our hands more, use brushes. So expired makeup equals bacteria. And again, those heavy winter shades, we want those fresh spring tones. And then if you clean your brushes, all of the makeup that you apply with those brushes are going to blend better and look smoother for sure. So we're going to talk about mascara first. Did you know that mascara should be replaced every 3 months? Ophthalmologists suggest every 3 months, really no matter how often you use mascara. Sometimes I'll have people that say, I only use mascara like once a week. Do I still need to replace it every 3 months? I mean, according to ophthalmologists, yes. I tell people, okay, maybe you could go 4 or 5 months, but really every time that we pull that wand out there and then push it back in, we are pushing air and bacteria into that mascara. And we don't want to take that mascara and pump that wand in there repeatedly to try and get more out. That really pushes air, which dries the mascara out and bacteria in there. If you've got watery eyes, then it's definitely time to toss the mascara. So that's your mascara. It's probably time for everybody to get a new mascara unless you've gotten one since the beginning of the year. If you haven't gotten a new mascara since the beginning of the year, it's time for a new one this month, right? To start using in April. And these are all of the mascaras that we've got. We've got a great lineup, maximum length, our great heights, and that comes in a waterproof formula as well. Ultimate is a great all-in-one mascara that is probably my best seller. The Lash Love is what I personally use as my first coat to separate the lashes. It really gets that full volume because it separates the lashes. And then that Panorama is defined and lifted, and it's got a great brush that gets into all those corners inside of your eye and the outer corner and those small little lashes. And then Lash Intensity, that's the second coat I use. That gives high definition. I love it. So there's a mascara for everybody. Now let's talk about your lips. Lip gloss really should be tossed every 6 to 12 months. It's probably like lipstick, eyeshadow is a thing that people are like, oh, I've had this for like 3 years. I'm like, okay, yeah, time to toss that. So lip gloss is every 6 to 12 months. Lipstick is just about a year. If the texture changes at all, toss it. And so we want to get our lips ready for spring with fresh new colors and, those soft, smooth lips. Now let's talk about cleaning your brushes. This is something that most people are like, oh, I know I should clean my brushes, but I don't clean them as often as I should. And I think, give ourselves a little bit of grace about that for sure. But then set up a reminder on your phone or a schedule or routine, something so that you clean those brushes as often as you should. Because when your brushes aren't clean, your products don't go on as well, and it can cause breakouts or it can cause other skin irritation because of the bacteria and the product that's in that brush that's been sitting there that you keep putting on your face. Those are dirty brushes, right? So if you use them daily, you want to wash them every week for sure. If you don't use them daily, then at least once a month. If you use them daily, you want to make sure that you deep clean them once a month and then replace them every 1 to 3 years, depending on your use. If you use them every day, really every year, you want a fresh, clean set, or if you don't use them quite every day, every 2 or 3 years, you want a fresh, clean set to make sure that the brushes not only are, staying clean, but also that they're holding up and they give you the effect that you want and that they blend the products well, because as they age, they break down and then they don't work as well for sure. All right. How about foundation? Is it oxidizing? Is it separating? Is it too light? From the winter as you move into spring, that's a common thing as well. Scan that QR code there and get a fresh shade match. This is a tool on my website that you can use, and it will help you figure out the shade that is best for you in your foundation, which is really amazing. You do want to make sure you've got great light for that, because lighting will affect it. If you're in a more dimmer light, it will, probably give you a darker shade than you need because just it's not as bright and your skin looks a little bit darker. So you do want to be in a nice, fresh, good lighting area. In front of a window, especially if it's sunny is great light, or in a bathroom that's got really nice bright light. So check that foundation match tool out. And our foundation options, we've got something for everybody. CC cream, even skin tone and conceals imperfections. It is lightweight, natural looking, and it does have SPF 15. I sell a lot of CC cream. People love it because it's lightweight, sheer, easy to use, and it feels really great. And then I prefer our Time Wise foundation. I personally use the matte finish. The luminous finish is a little more dewy. It's a medium to full coverage. It gives you that more radiant luminous finish, and it is a long wearing foundation. The matte wear is also a medium to full coverage. It is buildable coverage. It gives you that matte finish and shine control, and it lasts up to 12 hours. And then we have Silky Setting Powder. You can either use it to set your makeup, and it really helps to blur imperfections. Silky is a great word for it. It feels so amazing. It also helps to minimize shine and give you that more matte look, and it's got that smooth, lightweight feel. You can also use that as a foundation or as a setting tool, either one for your foundation. Now, here's a 5-minute fresh face routine. And when I get done with this presentation here in a minute, I will show you. I've got this routine on. It features that Copper Nova eyeshadow shimmer stick. I love these. These are relatively new. And that Copper Nova is a really pretty color. And then it's got the hazelnut eyeshadow espresso hazelnut biscotti and espresso. So you can check that out when I in this presentation. You can look at mine. And then Shy Blush and that Sheer Illusion lip gloss, one of my favorite lip glosses. So that's just a 5-minute fresh face routine, quick and easy. All right, customizable spring beauty lineup. This is all that we've talked about. So you can figure out your skincare, that skincare garden, which is better for you. I didn't mention, but we do have a clear proof acne set, which is great for people with more oily skin, combo to oily skin that have problems with breakouts. So that's another skincare option that we have. And then those spring glow heroes that will make sure that your skin is hydrated where it needs to be so that you glow like you want to in this spring. And those are, you can see all of those options. And then Bloom Ready Beauty, you can see all of those options as well. And I will also put the link to this particular page in the notes below in the description so that you can access that as well. Go ahead and scan that QR code there. That will take you right to my website, or you can see the web address there. And you can enjoy free shipping on orders of 75 or more when you decide, okay, I'm going to spring clean and I'm going to get some of that Bloom Ready beauty, or maybe one of those skincare garden products, or maybe you want some of those spring glow heroes. And you can always reach out to me if you have questions. And if you're not sure, please reach out to me. I would be happy to assist you. I love conversations with my customers and potential customers to help them figure out what is best for their skin, because skincare and color is individual and we want to make sure it works for us. So the perks of being a customer, one of my customers, you can get a quarterly catalog with samples. You can belong to the sample of the month. You get discounts during your birthday month. You also get VIP access to my live tutorials in my private community group. You can have a yearly one-on-one skincare consultation, 100% satisfaction guarantee. That is big for us because I don't know about you, but before I started with Mary Kay products, I tried everything and I couldn't find anything that worked for my skin. And I spent a lot of money and I was stuck with products. And that's the way it is really anywhere that I know of. Once you open a product, you can't take it back. But with Mary Kay, if you get a product, you try a foundation shade and it doesn't work, if you've used it a couple of times, it doesn't matter. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. We replace it and get you the product that you want. And then, of course, that foundation matching that I mentioned on my website. And then there's also the Skin Analyzer app, and I can help you with that. And that'll give you a free skin analysis. Now, you might want to upgrade to being a consultant. And when you upgrade to being a consultant, you get a 30 or 50% profit potential from the day that you sign up. From the beginning, right out of the starting gate. You have your own e-commerce site and a Stripe account for payment processing. You advance at your own pace. You can do this like I started just to get your products at cost. That's really the only reason I became a consultant. I just wanted that good deal, right? But then I found as I, got more products and I was getting comments from people and talking to them about what I was using, I started advancing, but it was at my pace and the way that I wanted. And so the same that you can do. And some people never get past the, servicing themselves and their family with products because they just love the products. And that's all right. You can receive as much mentorship and education as you want. There are social media and digital tools provided for you through Mary Kay in Touch, our consultant website. There's no quotas. You don't have to do a certain amount a day, a week, or a month. There's no territories. You can go anywhere in the United States and its territories. There are weekly, monthly, quarterly trainings available, whatever appeals to you, if anything. And then there's that fun girlfriend time and an amazing community. One of the best things that I love about it. And you'll proudly represent the number one global beauty brand in our industry, the direct selling industry. So again, those are the perks of being a customer there on the left. But the options to start, there is an e-start that is normally $35, but I just have to tell you, this month of March, it's only $10. So in March of 2026, when I'm doing this presentation, our e-start is only $10. Now that expires March 31st, 2026, but right now it is only $10, which is amazing. And that gets you in. You get a little welcome kit and you get your own website and you can start selling immediately on your website, which is amazing. You can also upgrade if you want to an additional add-on, which is a Pro Start, where you get a really cool bag and you actually get some products and mirrors and trays to do in-person things if that's something that you want to do. So those are your options. And that Pro Start for 90, there are over $400 worth of products and sales aids in that amazing Pro Start. So thank you so much for coming, for joining me for this spring skin refresh. I'm going to stop sharing this for a second and again show you the look that was featured in that presentation. And thank you again for joining me. So this is the spring refresh look that was featured in that presentation. The eyes, I have the hazelnut on my lid. I have that copper glow, which is this amazing eye shimmer stick. I have that in my crease, and then I have the lighter biscotti up there under my brow bone and in the inner corner of my eye. I use the espresso eyeshadow as my eyeliner on both top and bottom. And then of course I use Lash Love and then Lash Intensity mascara. My blush is the Shy Blush. And especially this for spring, we want to keep our blush up on that cheekbone and even up back into our hairline and even up a little bit. That is the trend for spring, for blush to really be up there. And then for the lips, I do have that Sheer Illusion lip gloss on. I do have a little bit of the pink nude lip liner under it. This is a really pretty nice sheer color, but it's like hard, like no color at all on me. And so I knew it wouldn't even show up very much at all on camera. So I did put a little bit of the pink nude lip liner under it, but it's a really pretty shade. I love putting it over different colors. It really gives it a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shine, and softens it up a bit over other colors of lipstick when I wear them. So thank you again for joining me for the spring clean your routine. And I wish you an amazing weekend. That's when I'm recording this. I wish you a wonderful spring, and be sure to contact me if you have any questions and if you need any assistance with your spring cleaning of your routine. Have a great day.